the tutorial, and in this tutorial what we will try to learn how you can display the content of a PySpark data frame in the form of tables, and you can say in the form of rows and columns. So you have also seen in SQL tables we have data stored in the form of rows and columns, and the data in the Spark data frame also is in the form of rows and columns. Then how we can represent that, how we can display that and check the data, investigate the data, and then apply pre-processing. So guys, let us start this session and let us see how you can display the content of a Spark data frame. I have imported Spark session from PySpark.sql. Then what I have done, I have created one Spark variable that will be our Spark session, and with the help of Spark session.builder.appname, here I have given my app name. App name can be anything, it's totally depends on you. Then I have given the master, like which node will be master. So here I am doing all the computation on my local machine. So local star means all the cores of my local machine will be used here, and dot get or create will create the Spark session. Now let us try to create a Spark data frame, and as we have seen in our last classes, like Spark data frame can be created with the help of Python list, and we'll try to do same in this class also. I have created one Python list, and this Python list, what it contains, like two columns. First column is address ID and the second column is your address. So this is basically a list of lists. Let me copy it and let me paste it here, so that we can use it directly from here only. So as you can see here, address ID 1 and this is the address. So this is our data, and then we have to create columns also so that we can represent the data in complete form in our display. So let me give me the column name. So column name is address, the first column is address ID, then the second is address. So this one is the complete address. So as you can see here, I have defined the column names also. So let me write here columns, not just column, because there are two columns. Now let us try to create the data frame, basically PySpark data frame. So how we can do that? So as you can see, as we have seen in last classes also, there is one method which can help us to create a Spark data frame. So Spark dot create data frame, there is one function. Basically let me write it here, create data frame. What it takes, basically it takes two parameter, and both parameters are like, first one is your data means here list of list, that is our addresses here, and the second one is the schema, and here schema is columns. So I'm repeating these things from a previous class so that if anyone is watching this class, like he is new to Spark, so that he can understand. So data is our addresses, and the schema we can pass here, schema equals to, here our schema is columns. So we have created this, and see here we have the Spark df. Now how we can represent it, how we can display it, we investigate it. So what you have to do, Spark df, basically Spark df is our data frame, dot show, there is one method, and let us try to run this dot show without any parameter, and let us see how the output looks like. So let me run this and let us see how the output looks like. So the code is running. As you can see here, the data is there and address ID and address. Then let me ask you a question. Are we able to see the complete address? No, the data has been truncated. As you can see in our last classes, I was using a truncate method so that I can display the whole value in a column. So here, as you can see, address, in address column, the data has been truncated. And one more thing guys, as you can see, my data contains 30 rows, like 1 to 30, and in the display, as you can see, the output contains only 20 rows. Then how we can get all the records, all 30 records, or let's suppose I want to get top 5 rows only, then how I can do that? And one more thing guys, how I can get the complete address without truncation. So how I can do that? Let us do it. So let me close it. So guys, let us try to use some parameters. So as you can see in the output also, the column value was truncated, and by default in show method, truncate is equals to true. So as you can see here, truncate is union, and here you can see truncate value, truncate optional, but it is set to true. So what we can do, we can write here truncate is equal to false, and now let us run this and let us see how the output looks like. Now as you can see guys, in the address column we can get the complete address, because what we have done now, we have passed the parameter truncate is equals to false. So I guess this is clear. Now the second question was, what if I want to get a particular number of rows in the output? So for that, what we can do, we can pass the number of rows. See, n, the first parameter is n type and it is optional, and what it gives, the number of rows to show. So let us suppose I want to get 5 rows only, then what I can do, 5 comma truncate is equals to false. See guys, both of these parameters are optional, so you can give either truncate or either only 5, it depends on you. So the address column basically contains address having length larger, so I am using truncate also and 5 also. Now let us see the output, how it looks like. So let me word in this terminal and let us see the result. So as you can see, now in the output there are only 5 rows, and with the help of first parameter, that is n of n type, we are getting number of records in the out. Now there is one more thing guys, like this truncate parameter either can be boolean or it can be integer, as you can see here. Then what will happen if you give integer value? So let us try to do that. So truncate is equal to 5, then what it will do, it will try to truncate the particular address column or whatever column are there in the data frame to 5 characters only. So let us run this and let us see the output. So all the columns will be truncated to 5 here. So as you can see guys, the values are truncated here, and it is truncated to 16 dot dot dot. So this is how you can truncate the column values. So guys, this is how you can give the number of rows and truncate values. So it can be anything, like number of rows can be anything, it depends on you. But see, if you are using so, then data is being displayed on the terminal and it is brought back from the cluster to your driver machine. So if the memory of driver machine is not that huge, then, and if you are getting the data that is very huge, then your program may crash. So you have to consider that point also. So if you are trying to display something, try only that data that is required for the investigation. So guys, let us do one thing, truncate is equal to false, and so that we can get all the values in a particular column. I mean, the column value should not be truncated. And there is one more parameter. So guys, let us do one thing. I have set truncate is equal to false so that I can get the complete data in columns. And there is one more parameter guys. As you hover on dot show, first parameter is number of n, that is number of rows basically. Second one is truncate. If you want to get all the values, like complete values of a column, then you have to set truncate is equals to false. By default it is set to true. Now the last parameter, that is third parameter, that is vertical. It is a boolean type parameter, and if this is set to true, see, basically this is optional parameter and by default it is set to false. But if you set it to true, then what will happen, it will print out the results in the vertical format. And now let us see how it will look like. So let me set it to true and let us run this code and let us see how the output looks like. It will be a bit different format, but you can understand this. So let us see the output. So guys, as you can see here, now the results are in vertical format. Each record is represented in vertical format. So record 0, address ID is 1, address is this. Record 1, record 2, record 3, the indexing is with 0. So you will get 4 records only, because there are only 5 records. We have given the value of n is equal to 5 here. So this is how you can tweak our .so method and get the result in the output. So this is it guys about .so. There are three parameter: number of rows, truncate and vertical. And depending on your use case, you can use whichever parameter suits to you. So this is all about today's lecture guys. If you like this session, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel, that is Man of Tech. I'll be uploading more videos related to data engineering. I have started with Spark, and in the coming videos I'll cover Hive, HBase, Hadoop and many more. Like you can see there are different data warehouses also, cloud computing like AWS, Airflow, Kafka. So there are many technologies. I'll be covering all those technologies on this YouTube channel and you'll be getting every video for free. So support me, and that's all I need, and I'll be teaching you all the concepts of data engineering, big data engineering for free. So guys, that's it. Have a good day, stay home, stay safe and keep learning.